shoulder. And then from here, I'll just guide her head. We're making sure that she's not falling off. You can even take your hand off and have it do more. You want to let go of my squatting station? The way that we have it set up is we have like 4 bars. We have ours in a low bar. So I'll always position myself where I can see all the other things too. I'm not going to start on that side of it. So anytime you're spotting, you want to kind of have everyone else's right. The most important part though is keeping their feet down, because what's going to happen is their feet will fly up and then they'll top over. So a red flag is this. I would say absolutely sir, because this is the first thing you can do right before they fall off. So we want her looking down at the bar, look down. Usually I'll hold right under her bottom and then her shoulder, and I'll slowly bring her over. Sometimes I exaggerate this time, I'll say squeeze. And then they usually do it with a little bar pillow. Otherwise they complain that. Do what I want with her and stretch her shoulders if I need to stretch her more or stretch her this way. So, and then it goes back to what Jamie was saying, you don't want to just like have them lean back. You can just hurt their tummy, stretch it too much, or hurt their back. So I'm going to go right around her shoulders, supporting her shoulders here. She's here, and then I do it like this. Yep, and kick over, and I'll catch her legs, tight the body, and then I'll push her chest if she needs help getting up. Let's show it one more time. So thumbs in the armpit, and all my other fingers behind her back. She's stretching. I'm pushing my thumbs into her arms a little bit so she knows that she's ready to stretch. She's coming down. Jump this way, grab her hip and kick. Catch the leg, maybe fix them a little bit, tell her to point her toes. She's coming down.
Yay! We don't do a ton of kickovers, and like in our rec sweepies, that's going to be reserved for your squads and your preteens. But it's nice to kind of know where they're going. So she's going to do a straddle, and she's going to go to a bridge. Go ahead and go to your back bend. Sorry, back bend. There you go. And just for the swim people out there, bridge is where you push up to this position from the floor. Back bend is where you start from the stand. So there's a subtle difference there. We're going to push our shoulders open. And then, Cam, can you lift one leg in the air? If they can do this, they're typically ready for a kickover. If they can do it without collapsing, and it's easy to whip them over like that. Yay! Good. Lift that leg up. Actually, lift it up. Good. And you can come across here, and you can have some support here. And this is where you can do some shaping. Boop, 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 boop. And you want to follow through on that so they don't lose their balance and fall off. You're never going to have a new student or a student you don't think is ready for the skill. Just try it. She's going to stand. We want to make sure the bar is at about hip level. And all we're going to ask her to do is slide her hands forward and backward. I've heard people say like riding a motorcycle. I'm not sure if that really like resonates with them because they've never ridden a motorcycle before. But it's like the same when people are like, yeah, you're going skiing, and like the two P's are like, okay. So sliding those hands forward, and I just say what it is. I just say slide them or shift them. So Scarlett's going to slide her hands 10 times. Boom, boom, boom. And she's going to see how far. So she's shifting her wrist. She's sliding. Slide, back, slide, back, slide, back. There's plenty of times where this is going to be the only thing you do. Even though the goal is to learn that forward roll, if it's a new student or a fearful student or a student who's just not ready, all you might not be ready to look at your hands. Ooh! Wow. And she's just going to do the same thing. She's going to shift her grip. She's going to bow and shift. Progression number 1, bow and shift. First, we establish what shift is. Now she's going to bow. She's going to tap her head on that stair set, and then she's going to come back. And we're going to look that she's also shifting her grip forward. Good. And come back up, Scarlett. Very good. And
sometimes I'll put a button here and they have to buzz it with their head. The boys really like that one. You just got to be careful.
We did it with a whoopee cushion.
Maybe have a helmet on deck because they like to really headbutt it.
Yeah. Okay, ready, Scar? Shift those hands forward. Tap your head. You can use your hand too. Tap or bring your head forward, shift your grip, bow and shift, slide those hands forward. Good. Slide them. You're going to look for that. So after you see that they are bowing and they're shifting, then maybe you're ready for the next progression. Good job, Scarlett. Can you bow and shift? And Steve's going to show you how to squat. So after they've established they can bow and they can shift, you're going to go ahead and let them do a little roll over the bar where they go off from their feet. So they do a roll from feet. They tuck their knees, be a Scarlett ball. Yep, and you're gonna look for those hands to be shifted. Good job, Scarlett. Support, and we're gonna always say the skills. We wanna build those associations, we wanna reinforce those positions, and we wanna make them real little gymnasts. So Scarlett is in a front support. Scarlett, what position are you in? Are you in a front support? She's in a front support. Okay, and Steve's gonna forward roll. She's gonna go ahead and shift her grip. We're gonna say it, so we've been reinforcing it. She's gonna shift. Good, she lifts her belly and she becomes a little scarlet ball. Okay, so we've got those progressions. We've got the shift, we've got the bow and shift, we've got the forward roll from stand, we've got the forward roll from front support. And now we're gonna do it all together. She's gonna do jump up, front support. Woo! She's gonna do a forward roll. And at the end, she's gonna finish in a flexed arm hang, bringing her chin up and over the bar. Boom! Excellent, Scarlett. Okay, so watch how Steve's gonna spot. There's a few different ways to spot these rolls. So he's coming, a forward roll. So look at this hand. Most importantly, above all else, you need a seatbelt hand. And that seatbelt hand needs to be on the back of their knees. And you'll see new coaches will put their hands on the front of their knees. I'm not sure why that is. That'd be like sitting on your seatbelt in your car. So you want to make sure that you have your hand here so that if they fall forward, you've got some control there. So she has her hand, he has his hand on the back of her knees, and then he has his other hand is going to be, he's reaching, it's to the shoulder, and it doesn't matter which shoulder you want. He likes to reach across. You could also go short side, long side, but it's to the shoulder here, and she's going to bend over the bar. Go ahead, Charlie, bow and shift. And she did it, and then stop right here for a second. So see his seatbelt hand is still here. Now he's going to take that hand that was on the shoulder, and it's going to become the seatbelt hand. And then he's going to finish through. Yay!
Shifting and rotation, then the spot is okay. So it's a nice safe spot. You're going to come here at the ribs. So I'm just basically coming up as I'm lifting her in the air. I'm at the ribs, and then my elbow is going to become the seatbelt. So she's going to go over the bar, and this is a nice way to see if they're shifting their hands, and then this elbow that's reaching across is going to come down here. Okay, like this. And then now I'm ready, and now I'm coming back to the switch. So all you've done is you've helped them do the bow and shift part here. You're going to come here, and you can really control it that way. So if they're not shifting their grip, you're going to be able to sniff that out right here when you're helping them shift back and forth, back and forth. All right, now yay! You're crazy. You're crazy, Leah. All the way. Whee! Good. Okay, Libby. Yay, Leah!
So he's got his seatbelt. He's got that hand. He's on the short side now. Now he's reaching to the far side. It literally doesn't matter. It's just your preference whether you go short or you go long. She's coming down. If they do not shift their grip, if they're going forward, and what you see is arching, and no grip shifting, just bring them right back up. Go back to the bow and shift drill. Just take it back down a notch. Establish that. Last time, Libby. Jump up. He's got his seatbelt, back of the knees. He's got his hand on the shoulder as she goes down. Before he removes the seatbelt hand, he moves that hand to seatbelt position, and he helps her finish and finalize. Good job, Libby. So we've got our seatbelt. One thing you might see is, Charlie, would you do me a favor? Actually, we'll do that next. Go ahead and spot that forward roll. One thing you might see, go ahead, forward roll, Charlie. Good. Is you don't want to over spot at the end. So sometimes you see coaches who aren't comfortable and they really are preoccupied with safety. So at the end they like slam their face into the bar. No. Okay, slow down at the end, and here's how you avoid doing that. Jump up last time, Charlie. I know this is a hard skill. How you avoid doing it is you go front support.
Switch you. Forward roll. That's another way to spot if they have it. Here, and then you're going to make sure, so if their legs flop down to the floor, then it's going to propel their chin up into the bar. So you want to make sure that you tell them to slide the bar towards their toes. Shift your booty down, slide. See how that bar's sliding down towards her toes? At the same time she's coming up. Okay, so she's kind of shifting her weight in that way. Charlie, you're awesome.
A lot of the time, I'll see people just like come to the front and say, "Give me your feet," and then they just like pull their feet up to the bar. And now you have their feet. It's like if kids at the park are doing the monkey bars and there's another kid pulling their feet. It's terrifying because if you fall and someone's holding your feet, it's just a face plant waiting to happen. You can't land on your feet because someone's holding them up in the air. So don't go in front of them and just pull their feet up. I'll usually grab right under their bottom and go here, and I'm under her. Can you let go? Drop. I got you. Let go with your hands too.
This is a really important point for your mommy and me classes too, especially when
yeah.
the 2-year-olds do that, when they're not supposed to do that. 2-year-olds love to just grab the bar and try to lift their feet up to it. So it's important to tell your parents in those classes that they're gonna wanna spot their swings and their windows, with their arms underneath in case they let go.
So I'm like under her. If you're like way back here, she's harder on your shoulders and everything. So that way, I got full control over her. If she drops, it's gonna be when you least expect it.
Will you
And they're
show
like
swing spots since you're doing that? Just real quick, same idea for a swing, a glide swing, or any sort of swing if you want to make sure that you've got them.
Like swinging type swing?
Yeah, just any swing and glide swing.
Oh, okay. Like I can borrow that.
Do you know how much this bar set is?
Yeah.
No? Is Andy here? No. Okay. Well, good talk. All right. All right, so see how Steve just basically, it seems so simple, but it's just something that can either make it safe or unsafe. Liv, let go when you're swinging forward. Oh, they do it all the time. Ready? Like, yeah, good job, Liv. So they might do that. You just want to be in a place where you're controlling it. And then show the glide swing spot. Yeah, same idea. So if she lets go, he's got her, and he's got her safely. Actually, do you see how he has this wrapped a little bit? That's a good spot if you're not sure they're going to let go.
I'm kind of holding her up with my shoulder. It's easier instead of just like way out here. The closer, even when you're spotting back handsprings and older kids, you're like in there. Because the further you are away, the less control you have and the less strength you have. If something does happen, you don't have as much strength like this. Like sometimes when people first start spotting, they're like trying not to get in the way and trying to get their arms way out here. But I like get under them. I use almost my whole body when I'm spotting them. It's not just my hands, but I have like one hand here, one hand here. I'm using my shoulder right here. So that way if she lets go, easy. Opposed to like this. Oh, that's really hard.
And if that's rough for Steve, it's going to be this.
And so again, this song is called Clap Your Hands with Dorothy. It says clap your hands, stomp your feet. And then there's like filler music, and on the filler music, we'll like toss to the other. One to the other. One to the other. So we're coming to the midline, we're coming away from the midline.
So